Hey there, how are you doing today? So, I have a question for you. Are you the kind of person who imagines what your life would be like if you made better decisions, right? You want to change your life. You dream about everything that can make your life better, about who you could be in the future, what you could do that would be really awesome for yourself. And then you literally don't do a single thing to get there at all. Like you want to change, but you do nothing about it. You don't even get started. I think that motivation has got to be one of the hardest things to find. And so I want to make this video right now because I want to talk about finding motivation. Because it can be something where you think about wanting something every single day. You can think about it and say, I'm going to get started, but then you don't actually do it. And you keep waiting and waiting and waiting for the perfect moment. So my question for you is, what are you waiting for? Why aren't you just changing your life right now? Why aren't you taking advantage of every single moment that you have in your life to get to where you want to be, right? That dream that you have. Why aren't you starting to even get there? If you're sitting around doing nothing all day, I do that all the time. I waste so much time in my life. I could be doing so much better right now. I could have an awesome life, but I don't because I don't actually do much. I just fantasize about stuff. I just think about what I want. I don't actually get there. So, like motivation being like really hard to find. There's always something that you could be doing at every single moment of time in your life, right? And I think one of the worst feelings ever is looking back on your life and realizing that you had all these opportunities and you just wasted them, and then that feels like the ultimate regret is realizing that you didn't live up to your potential, right? It's one thing to be jealous of other people and like what they have. You might want to be more like somebody else, but when you are comparing yourself to yourself, just the ideal version of yourself, right? That's ultimately what we compare ourselves to, is the ultimate or the ideal version of ourselves. But when you make the right decision, when you actually follow through on these ideas that you have, these dreams, these goals, and you actually make decisions to get you closer and closer to fulfilling these ideas, it's only really then that you're going to be happy. It's only when you make the right decision to do that that you look back and you don't feel regret. Okay, so what are you waiting for? Why are you not doing that if you're not doing that right now? Why are you doing nothing? Why are you not getting started? Motivation is really hard to find. Motivation is hard because unless you have something pulling you really strongly, or you're really, really scared of the consequences, like there's usually no real reason to change, right? There's no motivation, there's no drive. So when your life is just average, when there's nothing horrible going on, when you're not at rock bottom, it can be kind of challenging to find the motivation to change because everything's kind of okay, right? Everything's just all right. Everything's not bad. It's not too bad, right? When things get to be too bad, dangerously bad, then you're scared for your life. Then you're motivated, right? You've hit rock bottom, whatever, right? If you have an incentive, a reward that's driving you, then you have motivation to change your life. But just the fact alone of just wanting to do something, it's so hard. So if you can discover the ability that you have to just think of something that you want to do, to just imagine something you want to have, a path you want to take in life, and just go with it, just going for it. If you can realize that ability that you have, I think there's nothing more amazing than being able to do that. So again, it's like, what are you waiting for? There is no better moment than right now to get started. There's not. There's not ever going to be a time that's better than right now. Because if you're waiting for everything to be perfect, it just won't be perfect. If you're waiting for the right perfect circumstances, it won't be there. Now is the perfect time. Why do I say that? I say that because things can always be better right now. Like, there's always a possibility that the circumstances of your life can always improve. They can always be better, right? So anybody, at any single point in their life, anybody, no matter what the quality of your life is right now, your life could be shit. But if you make the decision for yourself that you want to change, that you want to turn your life around, that you want to actually get somewhere, and you do that, it doesn't matter where you start, because you can end up wherever you want to be, basically, right? Like, if you have a goal in mind, a dream for yourself, the best thing that you can do is to test out whether or not you can do it. I guess that's one way of thinking about it, right? Is if you have this dream, you have to try it out. You have to go for it. What if you don't get it? What if it's a stupid goal? What if it's too unrealistic, right? Because sometimes you can fantasize about things that have no chance it ever happening, right? But as long as you try it out, you won't feel that regret in the future, because you'll know that you did your best. You know what I mean? So the worst thing ever is feeling like you missed out on an opportunity. Feeling like you wasted it. And I think that's what a lot of us are experiencing right now. I know that's what I experience right now. Is I feel this way all the time, where I feel like, damn it, like I just missed out on a ton of opportunities to meet people, make friends, do something awesome for myself, get where I want to go with my life. And I just always constantly feel like, well, I just missed out, right? And constantly comparing myself to the ideal version of myself, right? It's easy to compare yourself to other people, but the worst thing to ever do is compare yourself. The worst feeling you ever get, I should say, is when you compare yourself to the ideal version of yourself. That's really what we compare ourselves to, right? That's why we hate ourselves. And I just know that so many people are struggling with this. I know that so many people feel like they're not doing enough in their life, and they just find it hard to get the motivation, right? That motivation isn't going to come. You keep waiting and waiting and waiting for the motivation to come. It's not just going to come on its own. You have to be able to do the right thing even when you don't have the motivation to do it. Just because you know what the right thing to do is. You know what's going to make you happiest in the long run, right? And, unless you have the motivation to do something, it can be hard to do it. But when your life is just okay, when your life is average, when your life is decent enough, it's not perfect, it's not your ideal life, it's not the life you dream of, but your life is just okay, and there's no real reason to do much more, you're not going to be motivated because everything's good enough, right? You have to, it doesn't take much work to do nothing, is what I'm trying to say. It's so easy to do nothing. Like, it's so easy to just sit around all day, wasting all your time, not getting anywhere. It's so easy to do that. That's the easy way in life. And that's why it's not fulfilling. That's why it's not rewarding. That's why you feel like a disappointment, because you know that it's the easy thing to do. Don't do the easy thing. Do the thing that you really want to do. Do the thing that you know is going to make you happy. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? It's not motivation. That's never going to come. You're going to keep waiting forever for that. Or you're going to keep waiting for your life to just hit rock bottom before you feel motivated. And that might never come either. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You can change your life today. You have the opportunity at every single moment to change your life. What are you waiting for? I'm just going to leave you with that.